You've probably heard that we have a new program from Kimmel Corp. You see that down here in the bottom. It's the same company that brought us Title Search, has developed PropertySync with a GIS company and getting a lot of feedback from us and a couple of other title companies they're working with. And we're slowly moving this into the counties down there in the southwest part of the state. So we started with La Plata, then we brought in Gunnison, and just recently is Montrose. Just to round out the plan, the next is Ouray, and then Delta will all be in PropertySync here. So what I want to do is kind of show you the screen. Then I've got a couple of searches printed out. Then what we'll do after that is, and we'll go through how to enter a search, how to run an order. Then we'll talk about expectations about going forward. So notice we're on the dashboard. That's where we come to when we first enter PropertySync. I can look at open orders by going to this orders tab on the left side. Shows me some orders that I've already run. I can go to run searches. And so this is the search screen. This works for both running casual searches, meaning outside of an order number, and running searches under an order number. So I want to do that first. Run it as if we were running it with an order. And I want to show you the one that I ran earlier today. You guys probably haven't even gotten to these two orders, but I want to show you what happens with PropertySync. If you notice here, we've got tabs up at the top of the screen. We've got the property tab. We've got the GI search, the buyer's GI search. We have a final chain, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. The miscellaneous search tab here is taking the GI name that I ran from the first screen. I ran a party, and it's showing all hits for that name that do not match the property. So this is Lot 4 of Riverstone Meadows, and the owner's name was Walter Talamantes. The miscellaneous search is all of the hits for Walter Talamantes that do not match Lot 4 of Riverstone Meadows. So it's a way of running the name for property other than what we actually searched for the property search. So I want to give you that idea as the final version, what we'll get to search. But in title search, you're used to seeing alternating colors. The search results are all gray. The blue ones are referenced to the one above. So this deed of trust here has two releases posted to it. The little drop-down arrow, and you don't even have to go all the way over to the arrow, just click anywhere in that gray space and it expands that record so you can see all of the parties on the document. So I wanted to give you a preview of what we're going to get to, but I have another search here that we're going to actually run through. So on the dashboard, let's take a quick look. We've got a place where we can look up recording information. We can look up parties, so that's grantor, grantee, and both directions. We have legal description for acreage, legal description for subdivision. Then down at the bottom are the control buttons. We can run the search, we can create an order, or we can clear the search. There is a function key on the keyboard, F5. If I have anything in one of these search fields, and I want to get rid of everything without going through and finding it all and deleting it by hand, I can just clear search. It clears the entire screen. All right, so in order to run a search and create an order, we have to run two pieces of information, at least one party and at least one legal description search. So on this file, we have the sellers as Todd De Julio, and I'm going to click the Add Party field button to add his wife, Stacy De Julio. So we've got one party. Now we come down and add the legal description. So this is Lot 4 of Skyway Ranch Estates number 2. It's not a speed, there is a speed list, but it's not the same lookup as in title search. You can just keep typing and until you get as far as you need to, and this is the subdivision we want to search. All right, so I've got 2 party names and I have a legal description. I'm going to create this order. I can go ahead and add the order number right here. Create order. What happened is it opened a new tab. Here's where we just were. All of the information we added in is still on that screen, but it opened a new tab for the search results. Okay, here are our search results. Here's the land search. Here's our miscellaneous search, so that's De Julio with other legal description besides what's on our property search. Here's the GI search for the 2 names, and then we'll talk about final chain in a minute. One of the quirks about this is in order to get the all lot postings, you do have to include all in the block. They're working on fixing that, so without putting all over here, it will give us all the all map postings. So here we've come up with our chain of titles. Pretty low key here. I can click to expand the field to see all of the grantors, all of the grantees, and the full legal description. I can also click on this little page here to view the document. When I click to view the document, it does open it in a new tab. So the original tab is there. Here's the new tab. The nice thing about this also is from looking at this document, if it's misposted, I can report an error right from the screen. Once I get everything I need from that, I can just close the tab. Again, this all stays the way it was. And I should be able to collapse this. Oh yeah, click the gray again to collapse it. Now down at the bottom, you'll see there are some other control buttons. We can expand all of the documents on the screen or collapse all of them. This edit notes field here, this talks about the notes at the top of the screen. So first we have the order title, that's our file number. Then we have the search title. So we're on the land search tab. If I want to, I can do PI search lot 4, PI property index, and save, and notice the tab changes. I can go to the GI search tab, click edit notes. This is seller GI. And miscellaneous, this I can edit as well and change this to De Julio. Now, one of the things I noticed within this property search field is De Julio is separated DE space JUILO. So I may want to run that party name again. I'm going to clear all of the searches. When running search, not creating order, you can only use one of the fields, either the recording information, the party, the acreage description, or the subdivision description. If I were to run a name and property, it's looking for results, search results that contain both. Creating an order, you have to have at least 2. Running a search, you can only run 1. So this was Todd De Julio and Stacy De Julio. So I'm going to run the names with the space. In this case, I just run search. So it ran it looking for property as well. When I get here, this is the cool thing about PropertySync, I believe. I want to keep that search, make it a part of the order that I'm running. So I can add this search to an existing order. I can label the tab for when it gets to the order, and I click Save. Now the tab converts to the order number and shows all of the searches that are part of it. Here's what it looked like before. Here's what it looks like now. Now that did not include the buyer names, so let's add them as well. Hector de Santiago. So in PropertySync here, we're not doing last name comma first. We're doing first name space last name. All my names are in there. I can run the search. Here's my GI for my buyer. I can add that to my order. I can close that. Now here's my property. Here's my De Julio with a space, my seller GI without the space. So then we have the GI for the buyer. Now let's talk about this final chain field. This is something new for us, but the idea behind this is there might be two people working on this file. One person might be running the search, and they want to prepare it for the examiner who's going to be writing up the file. So as the searcher, let's say, I might say, okay, here's my vesting deed. I'm going to add that to the final chain. Notice in here now, there's a link, a chain link, indicating that this document has been added to the final chain. So there we go there. Now we go under the GI. There's nothing to add. Nothing to add here. Nothing here. If on the buyer there was a judgment or something, I would select it and then add it to the final chain. So that then I might look here and say, okay, these are the only documents I need to work with. The other piece about these check marks and the green boxes at the bottom, I might say, okay, here's a document that I, as that searcher, am not sure whether we need to include, so I might flag that document. So then as the examiner or the second person coming in to take a look at it, they might first look at the flagged documents to make a determination if that's needed within the search. So now we have our search. We've got export options. So how are we going to get our searches into our file so that we can keep them? A couple of things about this. Their long-term plan is to have a notes field within here somewhere, so I can add a note about the document in this search. So if it's a long chain, I might have a deed of trust that we're going to pass on, or it's a re-recording of another one, and I might be able to add a note saying, this document we don't need to worry about. So right now, in order to upload the search to our file, we're on the PI Search tab, go to Export Options, and we're going to just export the chain sheet. The other option to export all will export the chain sheet and all of the documents. I don't know there's a need to export documents. So when I click Export Chain as PDF, it's going to bring up a cover sheet and then our search. So in an ideal world, we would have each of these searches appear on one page where it's separated. It's got this criteria for the property. It'll show the criteria party and show the names and for each of those tabs over here. Is the basics about searching a subdivision. Before we move on to section land, I want to see what questions you guys have. All right, let's take a look at running section land then. I have another file. This is 87013-276. In this one, we've got two pieces of property on Orion Trail. The legal description on the order sheet is pretty extensive. So the first thing I did is I went to Value Check Property Search, and I looked up the conveyance document for this property. So I take that reception number, 8837967, and put it in the instrument search, just hit enter, and here it shows me all of the property that this document is posted to. Now if we notice this 32 and 33 are just easements. The others are government lots just showing in the land comments field. So we're going to want to search all of Section 5, 48 North, 8 West, all of Section 6, 48 North, 8 West. All right. So we did just a quick document search to see how that document is posted. I'm going to come back here, hit F5 so I can clear the instrument number out of that field. I'm going to search all. Then we get to section 5, township 48 north, range 8 west. Now, for this one, I'm not going to create the order yet. I'm simply going to hit enter to run the search. Just take a look at these real quick. We've got our 837967 is this document right here. And we can view it either by clicking View Document or click the page icon over on the left. Shows our complete legal description. Now, with this chain, let's actually look at the other one, see if it is more interesting. Yeah, this one's a little longer. It's 25, there we go. 99 documents is still loading them. So in this case, there's some really cool features here. What we can do is use some browser features. So on my keyboard, I'm going to press Control F. The Find on Screen on page comes up, and I can type in my document number. Here we go. Here's the document that is my vesting deed. So I can expand that and see that they get this from Happy Water LLC. So now I might come up here and type in Happy Water. There's 3 search results. If I go down, here's where Happy Water LLC came into title to this property. They got it from Montrose County Public Trustee. And so this is a foreclosure deed. So you see I can use browser features to chain my title back if I want to do that. Another thing that we can do here, this document here, let's find that again. Happy Water. 1, 2, 3. So if I wanted to limit this search, there is this display search filter up at the top. So when I click display search filter, it doesn't do anything with my search. That's still down below. I'm just going to collapse the documents that I opened. But I'm able to take these search results and filter them for other criteria. So this is David Pearson IRA, and then run search. Watch at the top. I'm going to close this section 5 search. Here's my section 6 search. I'm adding a party name. So what I've said is take these 99 search results and show me only those that contain this party name. So I run the search. It opened a new tab, and now here's just a limited version of the search results from this screen. It didn't eliminate the search at all. It just added my new tab with that filtered search results. Get rid of that. Come over here, F5 to clear my search results. F5 should work there. Didn't. And I can hide my display, my search filters, and just get back to my normal search. So once I get all of that figured out, then I can totally come down here, open my search, or open my order, put at least one party and one legal description, and create order. This one I had already done. That's why that number's popping up again. So I don't think it'll let me create a second one. So that's how we would search section land, search property, and search party. And we also looked how to look up a document number that we came across. I'm going to close that unsaved search. Let's go back to the orders, because the one I created a minute ago was this 287. I can open that order. And remember how we had all of the search tabs at the top of the screen. So that's pretty much taking an order sheet. I'm going to open this 1300 also. This is taking an order sheet and running all of the components like we would in title search, but using PropertySync. So if you would go ahead and unmute your phones, tell me what you're thinking about what you're seeing.
How far back are these searches on PropertySync?
This is the exact plant from title search.
Okay. And just like title search, we still have to upload it into the file. It doesn't automatically do it like SKLD.
Correct.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah. There's no print driver that the search goes through like it does in TIMS, no. This is a web-based program. When I'm done, it will log me out after a certain period, but I log out. When I want to get back in to do some work, I log in, and I get about doing my work. It's not like starting up a program from an icon on your desktop. That comes into play here because a subscription to the program is very different. For each county, we have a license. That license includes 3 logins. And the way we're going to divide it up is a production login, a response login, and a finals login. Now, that's a primary production login, a primary response, and a primary finals. It doesn't mean that the person who is logged in with the production login can't log in with the finals or response login. It's just that we have 3 licenses. I think yes, it will take a little getting used to. What we're going to do is follow up in a week and a half and see what your experience is. What I would like, so can I get everyone who is running searches in title search to also 1 or 2 a day also create it in PropertySync, or is that asking too much?
No problem.
Okay. Kim, Marie, Jill?
Yeah.
But yes, the answer is we still will need to run the parties in TIMS for bankruptcies and executive orders. All right, this is an exciting move. It's a big move, and there's still more coming as far as what PropertySync will do, but our first half of the year goal is to get these 5 counties up and functioning in PropertySync. So
as we're barely starting out, we're just starting out with this in Gunnison, and I know Todd's been doing it, but so like every now and then we help him out in Gunnison.
Yeah.
Some of us who have not had this training yet. Mm-hmm. So going forward, until we actually say this is really live and the testing is over, we could still do all of our normal stuff in title search just to get our stuff done, right, without having to add this on.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we don't want production to falter because of this. At the same time, there's going to come a day when we say, okay, now we're turning title search off for these 5 counties, and you don't want to be the one who never had a chance to work in it before that day, right?
There won't be in the next 2 weeks.
I doubt it, but I can neither confirm nor deny. No, I don't have a timeline.
Okay.
There's no reason we can't switch Gunnison and Montrose tomorrow, except that we're still waiting on Fallout.
Okay, so I'm not going to worry.
But no, I would not worry, but I would encourage you. I said, did I say 2 files a day? You know, if it's just 1 a day, I wouldn't beat myself up over it.
Right.
But just it would help you to get familiar with logging in and running searches and orders under here. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Last chance. Final questions? Know what you're doing next?
I'm sure they'll pop up as we go, but
I'm sure they will. Don't hesitate to reach out.
sounds
All right.
good.
Well, thank you all for your time, and I look forward to hearing from you.
All right. Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Jim.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Jim.
Take care, everyone. Uh-huh.